How do we know that what Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, is true and true for everybody? How can we be sure that a religious belief is true and is true for everyone? Hi again. In part 1, we look at the idea what is true for one group of people may not be true for another group. And we saw that this idea does not work and it is not true. Now we have to answer the question, how do we know that what Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, is true and true for everybody? Now there are many different religious beliefs and they contradict one another. They cannot be all true. How can we be sure that a religious belief is true and is true for everyone? If a religious truth is true and true for everyone, it cannot come within the human world. Any religious belief that originates within the human world is just a human opinion. A belief that is true for every human being must come from outside the human world. There are groups that claim that their religious belief is true for everyone because their belief is revealed by God. It comes from outside the human world. But the problem is, the claim that their belief is revelation of God still originates from within the world. The claim is still a human claim. So what this means is, a belief that is true for everyone must be a belief that is told by someone who comes from outside the human world. And of course, anyone can claim that he has come from outside the human world to tell us what the true belief is. Therefore, anyone who claims that he has come from outside the human world to tell us the truth, what the true belief is, must also show evidence, credible evidence, that he is who he claimed to be. As we look throughout history, there is one such man. His name is Jesus Christ. He claimed to be God. He has come from outside the human world to tell us what truth is. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. The question is, what credible evidence has he given us to show that he is who he claimed to be? He's God. When he claimed to be God in the first century, the Jews, his enemies, asked him to give them a sign, a miracle, to prove that he is who he claimed to be, God. And he told them, no sign will I give you except this one sign. And he said, after I die, on the third day, I will rise again from the dead. So after he was crucified, dead, and was buried, his enemies remember what he said. They were worried that the believers, his disciples, will come and steal the body so that the tomb become empty and they can claim, see, he's risen from the dead. Therefore, this proves that he was who he claimed to be, that he's God. So therefore, they went to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, to ask for soldiers to guard the tomb until the third day. Just until the third day, because if on the fourth day, Jesus' corpse is still in the tomb, that shows he did not rise from the dead, he was a liar, he was not who he claimed to be. Sure enough, even though the Roman soldiers guarded the tomb day and night, on the third day, his tomb was found to be empty. Not only that, he appeared physically to his disciples. And he appeared to two of them who were walking towards Emmaus. He scolded them for being so slow to believe the prophets, to believe what the prophet said about him. The prophet said he would die and will be raised from the dead. They will be slow to believe that. Now, where in the prophets did they say that Jesus Christ, the Messiah, would die and be raised again? It is well known that Isaiah 53 predicted the death and burial of Christ to the minutest detail. But it's not as well known that Isaiah 53 also predicted the resurrection of Christ. In Isaiah 53 verse 10, it says, if he would render himself as a guilt offering, that means if he rendered himself as a sacrifice, die for sin, he will see his offspring and he will prolong his days. Now, how is it that someone who have died will see his offspring and will prolong his days? Obviously, it means he will be raised from the dead. So Isaiah 53 also predicted that Christ would be raised from the dead. So on the basis of just Isaiah 53, Paul in 1 Corinthians 15 could say, Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures. And he was buried and was raised from the dead on the third day according to the scriptures. And Paul goes on to say, he not only appeared to his disciples, he also appeared to 500 people at one time. People say his disciple may be hallucinating that Christ was raised from the dead. But 500 people saw him physically at the same time. Not all 500 will be hallucinating. That's not possible. And Paul said to the Corinthians, because they doubted the resurrection, he says, if you don't believe Christ was raised from the dead, go and ask them. Most of these 500 are still alive. You can check with them whether they actually saw Jesus physically after he died. So this is a very powerful evidence that Jesus died and rose from the dead. Jesus himself predicted his own death and resurrection. So he has given us enough evidence to believe that who he is, he claims he is. He is God. If Jesus is God, whatever he says is true, and is true for everyone. So in part 1 and part 2 together, I've shown how we can believe that the gospel is true and true for everyone. Then you may ask, does it mean that every time we share the gospel to our non-believers, we have to share with them what I have shared in part 1 and part 2? The answer is no. When we share with non-believers, whether they feel that what is true for one group is not true for another group or not, we just share the gospel. Because the gospel has its own communicating power, built-in power to speak to non-believers. So we share the gospel with conviction. The reason why I share with you part 1 and part 2 is so that we have the confidence that the gospel is true and true for everyone. And also is to help Christians who may feel that what is true for one group may not be true for another group to begin to think. Now think, not just feel, and have the confidence that what they believe in Jesus Christ is true and true for everyone. So that they will be more convinced, their faith will be more rooted and more daring and more willing to share the gospel to everyone.
If you liked our sharing just now, like this video or share it with your friends. If you'd like to check out more of our content, do subscribe to our YouTube channel or watch back our previous videos here. Thank you for watching. Bye!